All right, moving on to a big story. The BCCI's cash registers are ringing today. The cricket board has made a whopping 4,600 crore rupees from the first installment of the women's IPL bid. It's called the Women's Premier League, or the WPL, and that truly is the headline. Women's cricket has finally arrived in a big way. A total of 5 teams will take part in the first edition, which will be played in March 2023. 3 of the team owners are familiar names in cricketing circles: Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals and Royal Challengers Bangalore. All 3 own franchises in the men's league and will now own teams in the women's league as well. The other 2 franchises were scooped up by the Adani Group and Capri Global. Ahmedabad was the most expensive franchise at more than 1,200 crore rupees. Mumbai was second at 913 crore rupees. BCCI Secretary Jay Shah has called it a historic day for women's cricket. He also announced that the tournament will be called the WPL, which is the Women's Premier League, and will begin after the Women's T20 World Cup and will wrap way ahead of the men's IPL in April. Now, there's no denying that it's a big initiative, but for many cricket experts, the question is, should this have happened a long time ago? Let me first go across to Karishma, who's joining us with more details on this.
It's absolutely a big moment for women cricketers in India and across the world as Women's Premier League takes shape. A dream finally becomes reality today. Jay Shah announcing that the 5 teams bidding led to 4,669.99 crore rupees, which in itself is a record. Now, if we talk about cities, it is Ahmedabad, Delhi, Bangalore, Lucknow that have won the bids. Adani, of course, for Ahmedabad being the highest bidder at 1,289 crore rupees. Delhi with GMR, Mumbai with Reliance, and Royal Challengers Bangalore winning a women's team as well, and Capri Global winning the Lucknow team. So it is going to be a very exciting period for women's cricket in India. We are being told that the auction can be held as early as first week of February. A purse of 12 crore rupees per team has also been finalized by the BCCI. So it is a historic, monumental and a red letter day as far as women's cricket in India is concerned.
All right, Diana Edulji, former cricketer and former COA member, joining me on the show. Thank you so much, Diana Edulji, for speaking with us. Absolute pleasure to speak with you. The initial bids for the first edition and 4,600 crores is being celebrated because it's higher than what was bid for the men's team in 2008. I mean, we have to see inflation adjusted if it's still the same or not. But the fact is that there is that much enthusiasm and push for women's cricket. How does that make you feel today?
Yes, it's a red letter day definitely for women's cricket today. It's just that this was expected long back, but everything takes its own time and happens at the right time. And I think now, after BCCI announced the pay scales on even par with the men, and now we've got this Women Premier League, as it's called now, not the Women IPL. But it was thought of when I was a COA member, and in 2018, when I brought in 2 teams to play during the playoffs, and it went into 3 teams later, and then we were trying, but the COVID came in unfortunately, and we had to put off our plans. But I'm glad that BCCI still took it forward, and I'm very happy, and I congratulate BCCI for this, and I congratulate the teams who have really bid a big amount for women's cricket. They show the respect for women's cricket, and women's cricket definitely has arrived, and I wish every single person, whether it's a franchise, whether it's BCCI, whether it's the players from India and from abroad, all the very best in this new venture.
You know, Ms. Edulji, the test now lies in the viewership numbers, doesn't it? That do the people of this country come out in the same kind of support? Is the game as interesting to watch? And that will determine where it goes ahead, do you think? So the real test actually begins now?
Yes, absolutely. The players have to perform well. They have to play good cricket. And I'm sure if you saw the last series between India and Australia, the bilateral one, there was good cricket all over. They're high-scoring games. even though we lost 1-4. But it was very, very close games. It could have been either way. The viewership was there. From 2017, women's cricket has taken a turn, definitely, after we entered the finals in the World Cup at Lord's. That, the television viewership definitely has gone up, and that is why we got a good price for the broadcasting rights also. So it is there. People are watching women's cricket. People are understanding women's cricket. And all over the world, people are playing. Just now, there's the tri-series in South Africa. The Under-19 World Cup is going on, and we've reached the semi-finals there. And that has thrown up a lot of talent, which is very, very good. And that shows that we are going in the right direction.
You know, we're talking about equal pay. The match fee is equal, but not everything is equal. The number of matches will probably be lesser, revenue shares, other kinds of endorsements and revenues and monies that male cricketers make are in a very, very different league. How long, ma'am, before we close that gap?
I'm not too perturbed about that because I know there is a big gap, and it will slowly and steadily, the gap will shorten. But I don't think we should look too much into it because it's a long, long way. Men's cricket also took its own sweet time to come. It was only after 2008 when the IPL came in that everything turned. Otherwise, the FTPs now that are going to be played, India is playing a lot of cricket now. And I think we should just wait and watch, not jump into everything at one go and, you know, try to put all the apples in one basket. Just bid its time. Everything will fall into place once this league kicks off and it's a hit in the first edition or the second edition. Let's not think too much about the first edition also, because it's an absolute new concept where 5 teams will be coming in with foreign players and all. Initially, we had only 3 teams, and those were also well received, you know, during the playoffs and during the men. I remember in Jaipur, it was a full house. We had to lock the gates at the Savai Man Singh Stadium because the demand was so much. And they were not free tickets, it was paid tickets. So that was the way the thing was accepted. And I'm sure with the good marketing, with the franchisees having a good budget for marketing, and I'm sure CNN 18 is doing the broadcasting. So I'm sure that will be a good achievement, and women's cricket will definitely put up a good show.
I want to ask you, ma'am, from your perspective, you have been a cricketer and you have seen this entire journey. For you, what does this day mean, and what will the first match, the first edition of the Women's Premier League mean? Will it be the culmination of a very, very long battle and struggle from you and many like you?
Absolutely. It's a dream come true for me. This is what I always dreamt of, and it's the foundation we laid, and you know, Shanta, myself, Shubhangi, Sudasha, Susan, all of us put in a lot of effort, played the game with passion. We played it in the rough way. We didn't have any money. We didn't have anything. But I'm glad that I don't grudge these players at all. They deserve it. Every penny they earn today is well deserved. And they need to just give us a good performance, and then they can achieve the heights they require. Everything will fall into place once the games are played well, if we keep winning. And the most important thing, besides the Women's Premier League, is the ICC trophy, which I'm also dreaming of. One day we should win that.
Wow. Well, that day will hopefully come soon. Thank you so much, Diana Edulji, for speaking with us today. And, you know, we're keeping the focus on our women sports persons who have made us proud. That's why for the newsmaker